Hello, guys. Welcome once again to another review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And today we're going to be talking about the episode. Today's episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Today's episode was. I feel like there was not so much things that was done in the episode. It's just a little bit interesting scenes, then fillers. I don't know. That's just how I felt. I don't know if anybody felt like that also.
Well, I just felt like it just kind of dragged on, and it wasn't like a whole lot of substance to it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was just blasé to me.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the things that happened in the episode. Firstly, these two conversations. The first conversation was between we started from Ashley's. We ended last week from
Housewarming.
Ashley's housewarming. So starting off first with Robyn and Giselle talking about the intervention they decided to have for her. And I'm just gonna say it, I don't think Giselle mind for that intervention. She doesn't care whether I said Giselle, Robyn cared for that intervention. She doesn't care what Giselle has to say about her and Juan. She doesn't care about what the group has to say about her and Juan. So I feel like those ladies wasted their time trying to talk to her because it was evident in the conversation she had on this table here when she was talking about it with the other ladies. And when it came to her Giselle, like, oh, I told Karen that she had to apologize to you. And Karen was like, I owe you an apology. I'm like, dude, Karen, my first question is, does Karen really owe Robyn an apology?
I'm trying to think what Robin even said about Karen. That. Wait a minute. What did she say?
I can't remember. I think that was last season. But going off is the I can't really remember what happened. What she said about her.
Said that she was in Vegas with some man with a
Oh
like
yeah,
at
Oh,
a bar or something.
oh yes.
yeah. I mean, those are just assumptions. You know what I'm saying? That's hearsay. So in that retrospect, yeah, of course she does. Because when you go around saying sit, and I'm not gonna say that word, but when you go around saying stuff that isn't true about a married couple, you don't know how that affects that married couple behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
You can argue for weeks and months, and still hold a grudge after you both said you were sorry. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think in that retrospect, yeah, Robin owes Karen an apology. Now, when it comes to Robin and Gizelle, Giselle's her girl. She's going to look out for her. She's going to tell her stuff she doesn't want to hear. Um, Robin should kind of take heed because at first Giselle was all into, yeah, I'm so happy you guys are remarrying and whoop, whoop, whoop. She was behind, the proposal and all this, but if your girl's saying you being dragged, you know, in the streets and on social media, she's going to tell you. Robin is not trying to hear that right now, because Robin is trying to save her family. She's trying to save face and save her family. I think she knows what's going on. It's really funny to me that Juan didn't want to do a prenup when it comes to cheating because he already knew what it was. Right there, that should have rung some bells in her head. Like, this, I know this Negro ain't about to try to cheat on me. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to sign a prenup. Right there, that would have been a red flag, or as you said before, the red carpet all up in my face.
Oh, yeah. For me, I felt like um the I love that the truth they came to themselves. I know we cannot be great friends, but don't talk about me. Don't say things you don't know or you're not sure. That's not true. It's not verified about me. And I would abstain from saying anything that about you that is not true, that is not verified. I think that's the best thing that they could have done for each other.
Right.
Absolutely the best thing. But for Robin and her husband, I wish them well. At the end of the day, I do wish them well. Now let's go to this particular conversation. When Wendy, it's the effrontery of Mia for me. I'm sorry. It's the effrontery of Mia for me. You last season you threw wine on me. You almost used your bag to hit me, and you're expecting me to. Right now, you're now forming. Oh, I need to. I shouldn't bring you down. You didn't know you were bringing me down when you were throwing something on me, or when you went to almost hit me with your bag. It's me as effrontery for me, feeling like she wanted. I feel like she wants to play the victim card this season because last season it didn't work well for her after the throwing of the wine on Wendy, and a lot of people came for her. Now she wants to play the victim card against me, Wendy, and for me, it didn't make sense. Her trying to play the victim card, telling her that, oh, you when it comes to you, you always want to bring other women down. And me, Wendy, I'm gonna say Wendy is downright wicked. The way she was like, yeah, because you are slow. She kept like you're not gonna change my mind. I'm gonna keep on repeating it. Yes, you were slow. I can't be trying to bring myself to your level because you're slow.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, Wendy got a sharp tongue. No doubt about it. She's well educated. Let's not forget she is a doctor of philosophy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
with that being said, yeah, she's well educated. Uh, a PhD is the highest um, degree that you can get within a college system. You know, so
Mhm.
and it's it earns its respect. You know, so she's very well educated, like unbelievably educated. You know, no, as far as Mia goes, I like Mia, but she seems like a cute mean girl that I remember from high school back in the day. That cute, cute shape, got yourself together, nice clothes, hair always looking good.
Yeah.
I was one of the poor kids, you know. So she just reminds me of that high school jealousy, rivalry type of thing that you carry on into adulthood with you, you know. Um, do I think that Mia is slow? No, I don't. She's pretty well intelligent herself. She
Yeah, I
can.
know. I'm not saying that I think she's slow. I'm saying that what I said was the way Wendy stood on her words. She wasn't willing to compromise. She wasn't willing to back down.
Right. I mean, I understand how Wendy feels. You can't just throw stuff on me and then think we gonna be all talking and chatty chatty. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand how Wendy feels. You know, like I said, Wendy has a sharp tongue. You know, and
Yeah.
like she said, she's high vibrational, and everybody who doesn't get her basically is low vibrational.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I understand her still being upset. I mean, because she hasn't got a genuine apology.
From Mia, right?
Yeah, from Mia, but I'm
Yeah.
not excuse me, I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna tear you down. Even when
Oh.
you've done something to me, I'm gonna let you know about yourself. But mentally, I'm not gonna tear you down because I got a sharp mouth myself. And I'll cut you down straight to the bone.
But that's
I
what these ladies do to themselves. They always tear themselves down.
Well, yeah, they do. They do. And you tear one woman down, it's just like tearing yourself down. That's how I feel. That's why I choose not to do it. If you wrong me, I'm gonna let you know about it. Point blank, and
Mm.
leave it at that.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a problem with it, especially considering their history. And I think Mia is looking for a reason to have a continued issue with Wendy. And what when we first were introduced to Wendy, she had just had the baby. She looked a lot different than how she looks now. Now she's glamorous. I mean, she always the best dress, makeup, hair, everything always looks good. And then her second season, she was trying, I think her first season, she was the professor and always letting us know that she was smart. She was a professor. Then the second season, I felt that she was trying to downplay her accomplishments and was trying to act so down to earth. And that didn't work for her. So now I guess this season she's playing up her accomplishments again. And I don't have a problem with it. I think those people who feel inadequate are just going to have an issue with it. And that's probably what Mia's problem is. And then later to tie it into her son, like, come on, Mia, that was a stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, that that part for me was a very huge stress for me because her having this conversation with Karen and being like, "Oh, I felt a certain way when she said I was slow because my son." You're talking about somebody calling you slow, but you literally call your son slow
Yeah.
just because you want to prove a point. That was where my own part. I'm not saying Wendy calling her slow was nice. I understand Wendy because people react to situations and circumstances differently. The way I might react when I'm pissed off by you is different from the other person, the way the other person would react. So now you have done something to somebody. It's not like Wendy coming to say those things to you, or just like she woke up in the morning, dressed up, and came at you and being like, "Oh, you're slow." There's been a chain of events that's happened between the both of you, right? And now you're getting pissed off because probably that actually touched you so much or pissed you off that she could go that low with you. And now you're delinking with her child was like, no. That's why I can't really see Mia and like, okay, I want to like you. Because why did she have to link it to her child? And the fact that Wendy doesn't even have an idea that your child is having that issue. Because I'm pretty
Right.
sure if Wendy has an idea, because she has young kids too, I'm pretty sure if Wendy has an idea that your kid is going through that, she would never have even implied that in any way. So now trying to say, oh, my kid has this, and now she's calling me slow. And my son is slow. You were the one that called your son slow. Nobody did. Just
Right.
because you want to prove your point.
Right. And just because your child has an IEP, which is an individual educational program, it doesn't mean that your child is slow. It doesn't mean that your child is on the short yellow bus. You know, um, it means that maybe your child has a problem seeing the board and your doctor recognizes this. So your doctor says, hey, let me put him on an IEP for the school so they can have him sit up front so he's able to read the board, or maybe he's challenged with his hearing, you know what I'm saying, and he needs to be up there so he can read the teacher's lips. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
IEP is for different things. Maybe your child needs time turning in their homework because they can't turn it in when other kids do because of how much information that you give a child in one time. Sometimes it shocks the nerve system and they can't comprehend. So it takes them a little bit more time to turn in the homework. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your child needs larger printed books so your child can see. It
Right.
doesn't mean that your child is slow. And the reason why I'm saying that is because my child was on an IEP. My child isn't slow. You know, my child was doing everything that a normal kid did. you know it's just that with her disease, which is it's called Cogan syndrome. She's the first African American to ever have the disease, and the first minor kid, because she got it when she was younger, first minor child to have it. The other, oh, also she's the 12th American to have it. The other 12 people ahead of her that had it, they were Caucasian old white women. So we don't know where it came from. You know, it affects your hearing and your vision. It's like autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason to have an IEP. Doesn't mean that you're handicapped or you're retarded or you're slow, you know. So, I mean, by her even mentioning it, to that reference, what Wendy said, no, that's not what Wendy meant. That's not what was said. That it's a reach, she's out there just reaching for shit right now, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that she did bring up the fact that her child has an IEP, you know, for other women who don't know what it is, that has children, to know that there is help out there for your kids if you don't know what to do to help your kids' education.
But the way she even brought it up is not even in a teaching manner. It's not in a way of, okay, I
Well,
want
yeah,
to teach people
right.
that this exists and this is what you can do. It doesn't mean that this. She brought it in a way of um like mean girl bullying, people are bullying. Because she said, oh, she said her kid is being bullied because of
Right.
it. So she
Right.
didn't even bring it in a way of education. She brought it in a way that you wanted to use it to bring down Wendy. That is the pissing off part. As in,
Hmm.
I care that your son or your child has that,
Right.
but because you want to bring down Wendy, because you want to make people say, oh, Wendy did this,
Hmm.
when she never had an idea of this, that is the part I'm just like, you know what, I'm done with Mia. She can't just let people have sympathy for her for 1 minute.
Hmm.
No, truthfully, how would you bring your child suffering? Okay, let's say yes, that kind of stuff is happening to your child, and the child is going through that phase in life. Who
Hmm.
knows how much the child is suffering or what? And you have to bring it out there to in the open and not even in a good light. It doesn't make sense to me. Like Mia sometimes be acting funny. Like she just tried to just round up a lot of things. And I love the way Karen just told her that is not Wendy.
Hmm.
I know Wendy, if she knew about this, she would never, absolutely never have said that. Don't come blaming somebody because your child or trying to they abused you. You're trying to infuse your child into it. Like, was your child there when you were having the argument with Wendy? No.
I don't think Wendy even knows her well enough to even know her child like that. I mean,
That
yeah,
is what Karen was saying, that
yeah,
Wendy doesn't even know your child. She said it that Wendy doesn't know.
right,
So how do you expect someone that doesn't know something to all of a sudden, like, she works with mind? I
right.
don't know.
I think Wendy just struck a nerve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's why I say that. I feel like Wendy went so low that she did not expect Wendy to go that low. And
Right.
she's like, woo, that really hurt
Well,
me. So now I want to find a way to do that back to her.
well, yeah, that was a total embarrassment in front of a group of your peers for somebody to call you slow and you don't have any
And especially with
comeback.
the new housewife.
Yeah, and then you don't have any comeback on it. I mean, you have no sharp
Yeah.
comeback to Wendy on that. So, yeah, that struck a nerve right there.
Yeah, man. I felt bad for her a little bit, but after that meeting with Karen, I took back my feeling bad for her. I took back my feeling bad for her. But did you see this hug with Karen?
Yeah, I did. I mean, they should have
My
stuck to the
God.
handshake. Yeah,
Oh
that
my,
that was a
Karen
stiff
is very
hug.
funny. Like she's always on business. She's when I saw the hug, I was like, Karen. Even to this extent, you're still being like, you know what? I'm close to you, but I'm still all my eyes are on you. I'm still watching you
Mhm.
to see whether you F up, you know?
Right. But her son was watching it all. I wonder what he thought.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's like I don't know this kind of greeting before. I've never seen people greet like this. Oh my god. Oh, Karen is a very funny person.
Yeah, I guess she's like, we're starting from the bottom up.
Uh, how did you feel about this moment? Oh, before we go, let's take this comment. So, this comment said Wendy was asked about her new show when Ashley Evil as said she may not be smart enough to follow along. Then Maya jumped in. Oh yeah, I remember that. Ashley was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I think I will not even be on that space." Because since Wendy said it was gonna be a show that some people might not understand, and Maya decided to like, yeah, I think Maya was one that set up herself. Truthfully,
Mhm.
she didn't set up herself because I don't. Wendy wasn't talking to her. Wendy was like, my show is a show that deals with people that if you're not that, intellectually high there, you might not understand what we're saying is for a different demographic. And Ashley replied and said, "Oh wow, that means I will not be able. I might not even be able to like be there, because I'm not that to that extent." And she decided to jump on it. Then when you decided to like, since you said that, let me just go ahead and complete it for you. Oh my god, those ladies,
Yeah, they throw shade, don't they?
they throw shade. And let's go back to this moment.
Who is that?
I this is Juan and Robyn playing on the streets, like deceiving themselves. You didn't see this scene when I think when they went strolling or walking, and they saw maybe an animal that maybe a snake that got eating or something like that, and they were just playing. I don't know what they're playing. I don't know what they're trying. Why I was putting this because I don't know what they're trying to prove to us
Mm,
because I feel like it's not necessary.
right. Look, I probably thought it was a commercial break and went and did something
Oh,
else. Because like that's why I said it was so blase this time. You know what I'm saying? It was no real substance. But if they did show that, which you said they did, I just kind of look at it like they're just trying to show them as a united front, that their marriage is okay. Robyn is okay. Well, at least she's okay with what he's doing.
mm-hmm. Well, I like I said earlier on, I literally do wish them. This comment said, "No love, no chemistry."
That part.
Yeah, I agree to that. No love, absolutely no chemistry between these two. Like I saw this scene and I was like, no, 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 no. Absolutely not buying that. I wasn't buying that at all. Now, in today's episode, we saw Wendy and her husband trying to do the communion of their child because she's Catholic. And I love the dynamics of the two of them as parents. And did you see Happy Eddie's clothes?
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
I thought it was
Yeah,
cute too.
when
He
I
is
saw
so
it, I was
cute.
like, wow, so cute. Like he's adapting with the name. You guys called me Happy Eddie. I'm going with the flow.
I
Yes.
think he is so handsome. I just wish he wouldn't smile so much because that kind of takes away the allure. He's always smiling.
He's happy. Why wouldn't he smile?
Yeah,
He's
he's
happy. And
happy.
yeah, did you see the dynamics when they were like welcoming their kids? Like you would know that there is love in this home. When he was
Yeah.
ushering his kids down, coming, then Wendy was like acting some kind of, like I love the dynamics. Like it's at least the atmosphere was filled with love.
Yeah,
Unlike one and Robin, you could literally feel the love there.
yeah, I like how they, they're you can see that they're a united front, because everything
Yes.
they do together. You know, they're family oriented. You can tell that. You know, um, he adores her. And that she adores him as well. And I was really happy to see them, have the kids practice. And, when he was being the preacher, she's over there being the choir, so I thought that was really cute because it kind of reminded me
Yeah.
of like the cool mom.
Mm-hmm. I did love that for her because sometimes some parents will be outside like forming to be great parents, but inside they are absolutely not. So I'm happy that they are like that with their children. So it's nice to see. But anyway, they're having their first communion and she invited the ladies. Which she invited in Ashley's birthday, yes, housewarming. She just invited um she invited Ashley, she invited who else did she invite over there? I think it was only
Karen
Ashley, right? Karen, yes, only Ashley and Karen. And the way Robin was like, oh,
and
I feel like it's
Candace.
like,
Candace.
and Candice. No, Candice was not at Ashley's housewarming. I was talking about those that she invited at the housewarming.
Oh,
Oh,
It was
we thought you
only
were talking about
Karen.
the first communion.
No, no, no. I was talking about who she
over at the
invited
housewarming.
Ashley. Yes, at the housewarming. It was only Candice and it was only Ashley and
Karen.
Karen. And Robin was like, "Oh, I understand. This is like payback. Nobody's getting hurt." I'm like, nothing is not. Everything is not about you. The world doesn't revolve around you.
Right.
The world focus on your life. Focus on your marriage. Focus on your issues. You have issues. You're bothered about somebody not inviting you, and oh, she's just pissed off because I didn't. Did she tell you she was pissed off? She didn't. So well, anyway, she invited all of them to her children's communion, the first communion they were having, and we had Candice, we had Karen, we had Ashley, and Mama Wendy. I'm not gonna lie, Mama Wendy. Um, I totally didn't know that she was black because she literally.
OMG. OMG.
I'm truthful. I'm just gonna be honest here because
I was waiting for somebody else to say it because I wasn't gonna say it. So you go ahead. You said it.
because I'm talking because Wendy is Nigerian. I am Nigerian, and her mother is Nigerian, and she's literally so white. And I'm like, look at her two daughters looking so black and beautiful, and she looking as white as they.
And she didn't look like that when we first met her, did she?
She
No,
didn't.
she really didn't. So, like, are we in the Matrix or what?
And then
Because
nobody said anything. I was waiting for someone to comment on how she looked so different. Nobody said anything.
yeah, that's crazy because I remember seeing a dark skinned, voluptuous woman with no tattoos.
Well, no, she had tattoos last season.
Did
Remember
she?
when Wendy came from the hospital and she
Mhm.
was at the house, and that's when we noticed it? But you're right. It looks like she may have gotten some more. But her skin color looks a whole lot different.
Yes, it does.
I, I was looking at, I was like, whoa. Imagine her standing close to her two daughters. You would never believe, even though because they have like their faces and everything, you would not believe she gave birth to Wendy and her sister.
Right. I mean, even when they showed the younger picture of Wendy with her mother and her mother was darker skin, you know. And I know those are old pictures, but
Yeah,
the color really doesn't disappear over years
she
like that.
went and bleached her skin. Like
Wow.
And you
she
know what?
bleached her.
Now I don't know if she did, but does topical do that, or do you have to ingest something?
Uh, I think that some there are some creams that works down over here in Nigeria.
And
You
they'll
get to
take you
see
they'll
people.
take you that many shades? I thought it was the pills that'll take you like really, really, really light. Will the cream take you like really, really light?
When I say really, 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 really light, like they some of them be doing too much with what they add in the creams to make it very effective. So sometimes the creams they're doing it.
And I
But I was
heard that the ingredients in the cream is what they use to develop photos, like, photography. Remember
Wow.
how, yeah, remember like when they used to
wow,
make you go into a dark room and they take that film and put it
yeah,
in a solution? That's what
Yes.
I heard the cream is made out of.
Wow. Black people, you better quit messing with your melanin like that. We got it for a
yeah,
reason.
exactly. You're black
Jeez.
and you're beautiful. Like stay like that.
Of course. Stay the way God made you.
And her daughter is a physician. The other
Yeah.
sister?
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the mother could have a skin condition because you think her daughter would advise her that, it's okay for her to do something like that? Or do you think maybe she has a skin condition?
I don't know her. I know her mother got her own mind and
Yeah,
she's not
she
gonna
has her
listen to
own
them.
mind and
That's
she
true.
says what she wants to say, do what she wants to
Yes.
say. I don't think she might really have that much influence or affluence over her to say, okay, mom, don't do this, mom, do this. Like we've seen that in she's always in defense. Like anybody comes for Wendy, she's out there like fighting Wendy's battle. Sometimes truthfully it sometimes it could be very annoying to me because I feel like allow Wendy to fight her battles herself. Wendy came into this place knowing what she was getting into,
Right.
and I don't know why her mom will be getting into young women's issues. Like it's not about you that much.
Right.
So
Now, I do have a question about the mother. Is it
yeah,
common for women her age to continue to get tattoos? Is that common in the community?
that's the fun. I was even surprised. I feel like probably because she how would I put it? Probably because she has lived her life. In short, I don't want to.
Americanized, Americanized.
Yes, I don't want to make excuses for her, but it's not. When you come down to Nigeria,
Hmm.
even as we that were younger, if you come back home to Nigeria and you come home with a single tattoo, like the way you'll be condemned, like it seems like you're now serving Satan. You're devilish now. You're in a cult. You're into
Wow.
this. You're into that. That's how they don't like all this. You know, when you start changing of styles and all these things. That's how bad it is. So it's if you come down to Nigeria, it will be rare where you see an elderly woman, especially the age of Wendy's mom, having a tattoo. Very rare. If there are like 10 women that come face to face with you, if you won't see one, it's the grace of God.
Mm.
If you see one. Even the ones are that are living outside, like living outside Nigeria, when they come back, because mostly we usually come back to when it's the festive period like this, we come back to Nigeria to celebrate with the family.
Mm.
Even those ones that are abroad staying working over there, even when they come back you hardly see those things because they still know that at the end of the day their roots is still here, the families are still here, so people are still going to talk about you. If you do those kind of things they'll be like, wow, so you went outside to start changing, like you want to Americanize yourself. So I was surprised to see Wendy's mom with that tattoo, and she's very proud with it. She's not scared about it. She's very proud with tattoos. So you look at Wendy. Does she have tattoos? No.
No.
Her
Yes, yes,
sister does.
Wendy. Wendy has tattoos.
Oh, does she?
Wow. Does
Yes,
she?
when
I don't think.
on vacation. Remember when they went on vacation? She had
Hmm.
that swimsuit on. She has a
Yeah.
tattoo in the front, and I think she
Really,
has some on the back too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
really. Wow. I didn't know. But even I'm not saying that um people that have tattoo nowadays is the young people, like we the young ones that are coming up now. We tend to,
Hmm.
but when we draw these tattoos, sometimes we're not really that obvious with it. We tend to put it in places that mostly our clothes will cover. It's maybe
Right.
when you're on the beach, where maybe you're on swimming suits that people see it, be like, okay, fine. Oh wow, she's on swimming suits. I see her tattoos. It's rare before you see somebody drawing a tattoo that is very obvious.
Right. And
Very,
like with
very
Wendy's,
Yes.
Wendy's with hers, you only see them when she does have on her swimsuit. But with
yeah.
the mother, I was
Very
surprised when I saw them. And now that she's lighter, they're even more pronounced. But
very
I was thinking the
pronounced. Like
same. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I saw her. I'm thinking, okay, are we just going to ignore the elephant in the room? Is everybody going to
I
pretend like they don't see this?
I couldn't have I no because I kept on looking at her. I was like, is this really Wendy's mom? Is this Wendy's mom? Like if I put her old pictures side by side, like I she's unrecognizable.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
totally changed. Like there's no ounce of her former self with her again. There's no ounce of it. And well, as far as her daughters are still believing that their skin is beautiful and they're keeping it like that, well, she's living her own life, so she should live perfectly with her life. Now let's go to this main conversation. This conversation, I think we talked about I think we talked a little bit about it last week, and I did say that Nneka was how did I said Nneka didn't make sense to me and she was foolish for saying what she said. Although I knew that Ashley like kind of you know added our own sweet talk in it. But what I said was that if I was Nneka, I would not even entertain that conversation with Ashley
Hmm.
because it is such a it's a topic you don't talk about. Like she was saying a lot of things in this episode, like, oh, as Nigerians, as the same tribe, we call ourselves sisters, which is true.
Hmm.
If I meet somebody, I'm an Igbo girl too, like them. If I meet them on the road, if I should see Dr. Wendy, she's my sister automatically because we're from the same tribe.
Right.
Yeah, we're from the same tribe. And we know our traditions, we know a lot of things. There are some things you don't talk about with people that
Don't know
don't know
the
anything
culture.
about it.
Right.
So if she wanted to even have that conversation, I felt she should have been having a sit down with Wendy herself,
Right.
not Ashley.
Right.
And in today's episode, she's not like, oh, she practiced witchcraft. No, I tend not to. I feel like this is a setup because purposely. I feel like they wanted to make Wendy. They brought Nneka to purposely have an issue with Wendy, and they're doing it in the most useless way ever because Nneka is gonna catch a lot of heat for this
Mm.
because in Nigeria, you just don't wake up in the morning and call somebody a witch. It's a very big thing to say somebody practices witchcraft in Nigeria here. And to say that she put a hex on you, that is a very, very big accusation. Where is the evidence?
Huh.
And look at the editing they did. She was talking about Wendy's mom put an hex on her. Why they put the same thing they were playing her, literally praying. So they are like trying to counter what you're saying, and you fell for the trap of Bravo TV to come on TV and talk about something that even Bravo themselves don't even understand. They don't even
Mhm.
know the culture of it, and you just came and for me, I don't like Nneka already. And you knew when we talked about it last week. I already told you I don't like Nneka because of what she did, and I don't think I would like her. I actually thought I would give her grace because I was saying last week I'm gonna give her grace since Ashley was kind of lying a little bit. But watching this episode this week, her now saying, "Oh, she put a hex on me," and I was like, she said her mom has a shrine. Now, when it comes to shrine in Nigeria, we there's a way we have a very particular way of worship, right?
Mhm.
When people say I have a shrine, I have an altar, it can be perceived in different way. As Christians, sometimes you say I have an altar. It's like an altar. It's not like you put up something like I have an altar where I sit down. When I say I have an altar, I sit down there. That is my special worship place where I meditate, I pray, I worship. You know, me and God were there. The presence of God is there with me. That is where I call my altar. That we also
Mhm.
call that altar. We some people call it that's my shrine. But in a way of that is my shrine where me and God we speak to each other. That's my special place away from the noise of the whole world and everything. Then we talk about the other shrine where we talk about the fetishness, where people use it, with all fetish nonsense, perpetrate evil, do bad things. Now you're saying that Wendy's mom is saying that she has a shrine where she puts people's pictures. That is, she's actually talking about the fetish one, where she puts people's pictures and, you know, she talks things about them and it happens to them. It does happen
Mm.
because that's what they practice that here in Nigeria. But to go on a US TV, it doesn't know anything about it, that they might not really understand what is going on. And you're saying that about somebody else's mom. She put a hex on you and you're working. She put a hex on you and you are still rich. Yes, because truthfully, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the hexes they put on when those people that practice this witchcraft in this part of the world, some of them could be very, very diabolical and very wicked. They don't do to you what will make you survive. They always go for things that would make you like you would hate life itself.
Like what? Your hair falling out, your teeth falling out. What?
That's even simple. They give like they make you so bad, like they give you one sickness that you won't stand, or all your money, like you lose your businesses,
Mm.
you become poor. You're saying they put a hex on you and you're still rich. They put a hex on you, you're successful. What hex did they put on you? Because if you're talking about the fact that she's a Nigerian woman and she put a hex on you, that is the thing she'll be targeting.
Right.
She put a hex on you and you're still with your husband. What stupid hex did she put on Nneka that she comes here and says, "Oh, she put a hex on me after I was talking about you"? I
I
know
don't.
probably yes, maybe Wendy's mom would have cautioned her to not talk about her daughter because you don't go around saying somebody's daughter is an osu. You don't go out saying that.
Mhm.
If my mom would hear somebody saying that, um you are talking about her daughter, saying that her daughter is an osu, my mom would do the same thing. Go and challenge you and tell you, don't say that because that word is a big word. You don't say that. It could get people like she, as she said, as outcasts. You'll be. I don't know how to explain how outcasts they would do to you. Like you can't even be near anybody. You can't even go out of your house. That's how bad it is.
Mm. That's
So
pretty
if my mom
serious.
should hear you calling me an osu, I would challenge. My mom would challenge you too. So Nneka, for me, Nneka is just she, they set her up literally. If you go on the timeline, you will see that she's hated because most Nigerians watch the show. And for her to say this, a lot of people are hating on her because it's not necessary. It wasn't necessary.
Mm. Maybe Nneka needed a storyline, because I'm still trying to figure out what is her storyline, I mean, because she's starting off on a bad foot here, you know?
A very bad foot. And it's like, why would she do that? They're the only Nigerian women on the show. And you come on here, and I know you've seen the show before. You come on here and allow these people to cause you to start a problem with her, saying all of these things. And the stuff she was saying at the table with Robyn, I was like, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Why would you do
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
That's just horrible.
And Robin using that word like, oh, wow, is she that evil? Wow, it seems like she also put a hex on me. I was like,
Right.
please, nobody's reaching for you. Robin, your problem is personal. Go home and sort your issues. Don't come blaming a hex on your problems. But for
Robyn,
her to say, you said?
no, I was gonna say Robyn needs a different storyline, so that's why she's diving into this because she wants everybody to
Mm.
get off the Juan thing.
The fact that for me, I felt like Nneka was a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie, and considering the fact that her name is my younger sister's name, so I
Mm,
did think I was gonna like her.
mm.
Ah, what does it mean?
Funny enough, I don't know what it means. No,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I think it's like an ego that soars out. Like I don't know how to explain it.
An
It's
eagle
You
that
said
like
soars high.
an eagle though.
yes,
Oh, that's
that's the
beautiful.
meaning.
Hmm.
But I feel if she's very Nneka, that means she's from my own particular town directly because it's only my people that bear those. Well,
Wow. Wow.
that's
But she's on
nice.
here with this inflated accent, even the way she's talking, this sort of like a valley girl sort of accent. And
Probably
to
she has
go
been in. Probably she has been
right,
around here for long.
yeah, but it's like kind of exaggerated. It's like very exaggerated. And then,
I don't
for
know
her to
what's her
talk
beef with Wendy. Wendy did
must
not
be jealous.
acknowledge you as a friend. Is it by force? Wendy
Or
said she
is
only
it
knew you by passing.
bypassing, or maybe she's just trying to establish herself on the show. Maybe she wants to be on the show real bad. So this is going to be her angle. But it's just like, why would you do that? Especially with the things that Wendy went through last season and the season before that, and the way that Robyn treated Wendy so bad last year. Both of those bandits treated her so bad. And then you come on here and you pile on her too. Just, oh gosh, that's just so bad. Hopefully they're going to make up. And then I was thinking, I said, well,
I don't
maybe
think they can
this
make
was
up.
planned so that she can get on the show. But then the way you explained it, to the oh soon. So yeah, to make up some of this stuff, it's just like egregious, right? Like that's just going too far. And then people, even if it was fake, the community would not understand that it's just TV. It's just no, that's some things you
Mm-hmm.
just would not accuse people of. And the things that they said
The, the
about the
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 fact
mother, and the mother seems to be very religious, a praying grandmother. I'm sorry, go
yeah
ahead.
the fact is you're saying that maybe it's fake. I've been on her story since the episode dropped to see whether she would maybe drop something or put out a statement or say something. She literally has been going on Twitter. People that are in support of her, she will post what they tweeted and post it on her Instagram. So I feel like she's just there to beef Wendy. And she thinks she's gonna win.
Right. Right.
But she has messed up because how would you win? Wendy is not someone that you joke with like that. Like Robin has tried, Gizelle has tried. Like Gizelle is right now. When Gizelle sees Wendy, she shuts up.
Yeah.
She's just
Right.
quiet.
Hmm.
So they tried, they couldn't. So now they looked for, okay, let's look for another Nigerian guy, Nigerian girl, Nigerian. They will know how to give themselves insults in the Nigerian way. And you fell for that trap and you came along and you decided to go further. Like, no, no. I don't think they will ever reconcile. For her to have mentioned that particular that, for her to go to that also, then maybe as Ashley kind of took back her statement and be like, okay, fine, she might not have said it. Then you decided to go to the witchcraft place saying that Wendy's mom is a witchcraft. No, those kind of things are things that are not easily forgiven in our place. They're not easily forgiven for
Well,
you
let's
to
not.
Can you
accuse somebody.
explain it? Can you explain a little bit better what it is?
What is the Osu stuff?
Yeah, it seems like people don't really want to explain it too well. I just, in a nutshell,
Oh,
what is it? What does it mean, and
Osu
why is it
is
so
like
taboo?
it's a huge taboo. It's like some I think it's abolished now. It's like a group of people like then of the old, they were like, we have gods that we serve, and they're like these are the people that will be they've been handed off to the gods. They are the only job they do is to worship the gods. So since they are for the gods, they don't belong to the world of human being. You get, they already offered to gods, so automatically you don't have any interactions with humans. So as ladies, you can get married, you can have friends, even as guys. If mostly it's mostly women that are being pushed to that. As in, then like when it was still very prominent, it was mostly women. It's hardly men, mostly women. They push them into being the worshiper of the gods, and as that, you can't get married, you can have friends. Nobody talks to you. You hardly even go outside. The people that worship the gods will bring the food to your doorstep. So you don't need to do anything. You just sit down there and worship the god. Like, so that's like you're an outcast. You can't talk to anybody, you can't see anybody. It's only you and the shrine there and you alone. Anybody that tries to be friends with you is like there's a cost that will follow you. So people already have that fear, like, oh, I can't talk to this person, cost follow me and my family. So automatically everybody is you nobody wants to talk to you. And that every of your family is also like that. Every family member of yours is also like that. It's just recently they abolished that, and some of them started coming back into society. But still, a lot of people were still scared because it's a belief that we've had in our head for a very long time. Like, oh, if you talk to an Osud person, it's like, oh, something might happen to you, your business might go down, you might die before your time. All those kind of beliefs that they put into, like, when they want to do something, they put in fear, something that will make you fear and respect um the culture.
So why would they say
So
that
now,
about Wendy's mother when clearly she's here, she's heavily involved with
you know,
people and activities, and that doesn't even make
some
sense.
of them, some of the Osus, is like most of them were unwilling people that were just forced into it. Like they'll come and say, "Oh, this person I saw the gods chose you to be the worshiper of the god." Some of them escaped, some of them ran away from it, and went to marry, and people are like, "Oh, you've gone to do this, you'll be cursed, your children will be cursed." So some people ran away from it and went to another state to associate with people. But when people see you, be like, "Oh, she's an Osu," you just, if you interact with her, your things around you will start falling apart. So because of that belief, a lot of people still say that, like, "Oh, this person is an Osu." Oh, when you get
Can
married
you
to this person.
can you identify them? Is it something that they like a color that they wear? Do they have markings on their body? How do you know who
Yes,
is involved?
some of them have markings on them depending on the gods that they were
Oh,
given
okay.
to.
But
So
as
some of
far
them
as
have mark.
But as
So,
far as
so
you
and another thing is that when they are choosing, they parade you round the village, so every single person knows you, so as to not be able to, so that you won't make that mistake of associating with that person. So you are
okay,
paraded round, so every single person in that community knows you. So there
okay,
won't be any ounce of mistake of, oh, I didn't know that she was this, and I went to
right.
talk to her. So everybody knows you
Okay.
in
So
the
now
community.
that we know Aneka's husband's cousin
Yeah.
knows Wendy's family, then she should
Mm-hmm.
know that Wendy's family is not that, right?
Yeah, she should
So
know.
so why is she perpetuating this is the question. Why is she
That's
putting that
that's the
doubt in people's heads?
that's the question I myself have for her, because I
Okay.
didn't understand why she kept on saying it. Immediately I heard it the first time when we talked about it last week. I said it that immediately I heard that word, I felt like she shouldn't have entertained. Immediately Ashley brought it up. If it was me sitting in front
Mhm.
of Ashley and she brought it up, I would just close it down, end it,
Mhm.
close the chapter. Because
Right.
Ashley, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand what you're talking about. And I can't sit down here explaining to you. So her having that conversation, even if she didn't say that, oh, she is, but entertaining that conversation with Ashley alone was like, she shouldn't have in any way entertained Ashley at all. So
Right.
that
Right.
was where me, I just like, I said, I don't think I'm gonna like her. And now she's going through the witchcraft part, another
Right.
issue again that shouldn't be said again in as a Nigerian, talking about a fellow Nigerian and her family. Like, no.
And to get on television, national television, and say this
Yeah.
stuff just because you want to be on the show. But if you're super rich, so why do you need this show? And then to talk to Robyn, and I know she watched the show last season, so she
She
Right.
knows the
was. She
history.
she she
Yes.
she personally picked enemies of Wendy. She picked enemies of Wendy's
Yeah.
to talk to. Like if she was talking about this thing, the funny thing is that if she was talking about this thing in a local reality TV show that is run in Nigeria, nobody would have taken it personal, because we all have an idea of all these things. It's like a norm. We've grown with it. We were taught about these things as history in, our Nigerian culture. So we know about it. So we wouldn't have taken it personal. But for you to go to another man's land and be like talking about it, you know, Nneka, and she has a very thick. Nneka is a very thick. When I mean a thick, like, you know that her parents are very traditional. Like when you say the name is a very traditional name, like a very, very traditional name, Nneka. So she's not just a Nigerian girl. Her parents, I'm pretty sure her parents are inbuilt thick people of their community. For them to name her Nneka, that means they are very inbuilt in their community.
Mm.
And the fact that she's also married to an Igbo man, and that her husband, the way he speaks, you will know that he's very thick in the Igbo language, like the Igbo men. When we talk about Igbo men in here in Nigeria, we say Igbo men are one of the most richest people in Nigeria. So they have this aura with them, like very big. Her husband is a very, the way he speaks, you will know that he's a very thick Igbo man.
Mm.
So I can't imagine you are an Igbo person, you are married to an Igbo person, and you're coming to say this kind of nonsense. From where? Just because you want to beef Wendy. Wow. Everybody should take a chill pill. I want to see
Yeah.
how Robyn was going to infuse the hexing to her marriage issues, because she's really trying to, you know, do one or two connections that maybe Wendy's mom affect her marriage and the issues that is happening.
Yeah, and did you hear Aneka say, "I thought she was gonna be aggressive." Like, why use that word aggressive when we know that that is a negative word to use when you're describing Black women? Why say that? That was
Right.
another thing. Like she's something else. I guess she's got her sights set on Wendy, and I guess she figures this is my chance to just try to maybe there's some issue between the two families.
Probably. Because when it comes to Igbo families, we are always very connected, and our families are very huge. Like we have so many extended. Like in my own family, we have so many extended people. Some of them I don't even know. Maybe when I travel to my hometown and I'll be like, oh, they'll be like, oh, this person is your uncle. I'll be like, oh, I'm surprised. I never knew you before. So it's a
Mhm.
very big branch. So probably it might not even be that her directly has an issue with the family. It might just be one person that has another issue with one person in the family. Then everybody now starts taking sides. No, if but even if you have an issue, maybe somebody in your family has an issue with somebody in Wendy's family, is it not before you come on this show, before you now know where you take your seat, is she not supposed to have a conversation with Wendy first? That's the right thing to do. Sit down and have a conversation with Wendy. Like, this is what is going on. This is what I feel about your family. Your family did this to my family. That's why I'm like this. At least let Wendy know where her hate is coming from. Like right now, I'm not sure Wendy knows why this Nneka literally hates her.
I don't know.
And it's
Maybe.
very every you said
No, I was gonna say maybe Nneka's coming for her job. You know what I'm saying?
she wants to replace Wendy.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Yes.
I will choose Wendy anytime, any day over
Did you
Nneka.
subs did you subscribe to Wendy's YouTube channel? She dropped a video today.
I didn't know. Probably when we're done, I'll go check on her.
Yeah. You know the talk show thing? It's gonna be on YouTube for now.
Oh wow. That's nice. Because sometimes she starts something and she doesn't finish. So I thought this was gonna be one of them.
I bought her candle. It smelled fantastic. It was
Really?
wonderful.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
bought no, one of the small ones, not the big one.
Uh-huh.
But it was not cheap. It was like, oh, what was it like $60 or that was a few years ago. It was not cheap,
Mhm.
but it smelled wonderful. But I
Wow.
don't know what happened with that. I didn't buy anything else. And she personalized everything, wrote her
Hmm.
name and everything. And then the email, I think the email came from her. Yeah, I think she sent the
Oh, that's
email.
cool.
But yeah, but that was years ago. I don't know if she's still selling it or not.
I literally didn't think she was gonna go through because she always starts and never finishes anything she does. So I really didn't have hopes for this. But I'm surprised that she did. Yeah. I guess I'll go take a look at the video.
Yeah, take a look when you get a chance. I'm gonna watch it too. I subscribe to the channel. She looks really pretty. She's wearing something green. And I think they also have an issue with her because when she first came on, she was not fashionable like she is now. She
Hmm.
was brand new to the show. Now they see her every time you see her, she has on a beautiful
Yeah, it
outfit.
was
Yeah,
very
her
beautiful
body is done,
outfits.
her makeup, her hair. I mean, she and those two
Those
can't compete,
wigs,
huh?
those her wigs be wigging.
She looks great, right? And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
they just have an issue with that because she blew up right before their eyes. And when she,
yeah, and she's one of the most popular housewives of the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Potomac, yeah. And then when they
Yeah,
tried to come at her with her marriage and the way she shut Gizelle down, Gizelle has not recovered from that. But I think that they're amicable now because I saw an Instagram photo during the World Cup, not World Cup, something about soccer. And Wendy and Eddie were there, and Ashley was there with Gizelle. And Gizelle, Ashley, and Wendy all took a picture together. So
Mm.
maybe Wendy and Gizelle, maybe they made up this season. They're probably still not friends, but maybe they are amicable now.
cordial.
Right.
Mm.
Cordial, yeah.
That would be great.
No,
I
I
want to see
liked
how.
I didn't like I liked her better that she did not become friends with them because they're so used to everybody, not everybody, but they're so used to people trying so hard to be their friend. I like her that she stood up for herself.
Right.
Yeah. And one thing I find I would feel bad for is Nneka trying to be friends with them. When they turn on her, these same ladies could turn on her any minute. And when they turn on her, every single thing she has told them, they're gonna use it against her. That's one thing she
Yeah,
doesn't know.
that she doesn't know yet exactly.
They're gonna use it against her. Like now she's in her era. She's in her prime. No,
Did you
she's
guys
in her
mention
prime.
that the new lady who came on, that
Yeah.
Wendy's
Ki,
friend?
Ki, is it Kira? I
Something
think
like that.
Kira, something like that. But she has not really. They just did a breathing for her. Really, I didn't really get much substance about her.
But I think
So,
isn't she the one that's gonna get into that fight with Deborah?
yeah, it's true. They talked about that fight that there was much news
Yeah,
about.
I
And
think it's her. And did you see Deborah there? She was trying to get some camera time.
Yeah, saying hi.
yeah, she was sneaking. She was trying.
Oh, hi, Robin. Yeah.
Oh
Right, right.
God!
Yeah, I seen
Did
that.
they demote her? I don't know. Was she demoted?
She was never a part of the cast. She was somebody that Ashley was trying to bring around and trying to start some mess.
Hmm.
Oh wow!
I do not like Ashley. Oh gosh, I do not like her. I don't
I
know
do
why
not
they
like.
keep her.
Oh my
I
God!
hope this is her last season. So that's all she's doing is just starting mess. We don't need you for that. There's other
And
people
always
who can
showing us
start
her
mess.
boobs.
Yes, that was so inappropriate the way she came for that event, for a child's event. I do not like her at all. Please go. Please don't let her come back.
She's always talking about the boobs. Like I don't know. Is they that important?
She has nothing else going on, so I guess that's what she has to do, dress like that as if anybody cares and start trouble. And I wonder why she apologized to Wendy and said that she got that wrong. Someone must have told her that the seriousness of what she said about that old Sue.
Yes,
Someone must have talked, yeah,
somebody must have, in a fellow Nigerian must have told her that, babes, you effed up. You shouldn't
yep,
have said that
because she looked so
because
serious with her apology.
yeah, when I saw her talking to Karen, I'm like, I think I must have said it wrongly because maybe the person would have told her that for you to have said that another Nigerian said it about another Nigerian, that was bad.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So that was why she tried to take it like, oh, I don't think she said it. So I feel somebody else has told her that no, you fucked up. You shouldn't have told um Wendy that.
And what I
And
don't like
that's
is why Wendy keeps accepting her apology. She's done a lot of stuff, said a lot of stuff to Wendy, and Wendy just says, "Okay," but I guess maybe she's a smaller fish, and the bandits are the bigger fish. So maybe Wendy just doesn't care about what she said.
yeah. I feel like that. That maybe Wendy doesn't really like care about it. Wendy doesn't really send her. She can easily handle Ashley whenever it becomes serious. So I feel like that's just the issue.
Yeah, they've got a lot of women on that show now. It's time for some people to go. Ashley needs
Oh
to go, and one of the bandits needs to go. And I like Robin. And I don't see what Gizelle is bringing. So now she wants to give us the girls all the time. And I like the girls, but
yeah,
come on, what else do you have, Giselle? And the way she was sitting there looking when Wendy was talking, just her face all frowned up. One of them has got to go. Ashley needs to go, and one of the bandits needs to go.
I agree.
yeah.
They need new blood.
Yeah, yeah. But Ashley needs to be the first one gone. Absolutely.
No, but one thing I know at least is better than Reals of Atlanta. So I'm good.
Oh, yes.
I'm good. I don't have to suffer myself
No,
like
no,
the
you
way I suffer
don't.
myself on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So
Now, did you see the preview for next week? She's sitting at the table and still talking all of this stuff. And it's
Wow.
like,
yeah.
why won't you
But did you
put up?
notice her face? She had a little bit of fear talking about it straight to Wendy.
Yeah, yep.
Unlike when she was with these other ladies, she was serious, like energetic. But with Wendy, there was a difference because she knew that this is a very serious territory I am going to, and mm, I know, I know I've gone bad, but let me just continue in my badness.
Now, I would like to see an interaction between her and Wendy's mother.
Oh.
Now, would that happen or would that never happen in the community? Would an elder have a discussion with her or no? Because I think Wendy's mother is like a woman chief, is what she said. She's what they call it? She is Osun. She is Eom.
She's a chief. Like they give
Right.
titles. They give
Right.
titles to people that are affluent and you do things in the community. So they give you a title. If it was that's why I said if it was in Nigeria and my mom had somebody else literally calling me a witch, she would go to that person and you know have a very huge chat on the reason why you feel like I'm a witch. What did I do to you that warranted you calling me a witch?
Hmm.
The conversation would have been hard anyway. And considering the fact that she said their families are close, it would have even, if it was in Nigeria, it would have been a family meeting where she would have to come out and stand and ask and question and be questioned. What exactly did she do to you that you are going around calling her a witch? Because that's a very big accusation. You don't go around throwing that accusation without having evidence to
Right.
back. Or maybe you've seen something or something was done to you that you can present and say, okay, yes, she did this to me. That's why I'm calling her a witch. You just don't go there. You have to give your evidences like, yeah,
I
this is what
wonder
was
what her
done. Like,
husband I wonder how her husband's gonna feel about that because the husband is friends with Wendy's family or his cousin is friends with that's gonna create problems there too, right? Like, does her husband know that she's saying this stuff and on TV?
of course it's gonna create problems.
Right.
It's gonna it's gonna create huge problems. But I feel like at this moment, I feel she's just in here for the fame
Mm.
than what is gonna happen.
You
And
know what?
I
I could see her trying to be like a legal correspondent. You know how Wendy is on news channels? I could see
Right.
yeah.
this lady trying to do that, giving a legal perspective. So this may be what she's trying to use the show for to try to get, recognition that way. Because she's very articulate, very well spoken,
Mm.
great
Yeah.
posture, dresses well, very attractive. So this could be by any means necessary. I just want to get on television.
Right.
Well, I do wish her well. I can't wait for next week. I want to see what Wendy is gonna do when that
Yeah.
is said to her directly. And the fact that I love RHOP is that at least every week you're anticipating, and whatever they say they're gonna give you on the trailer, they give you on the episode. You know, so it's not what I ordered versus what I got. So it's nice. It's nice. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining us today on another review on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Make sure you join us again next week for the next episode because next episode is gonna be explosive. But before we go, don't forget to subscribe to our individual YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to ShopRite TV YouTube channel and also Unfiltered Exhaust YouTube channel. Like and comment on our videos. We have individual videos that we do on our YouTube channel. You can comment and like on our videos. We'll see you guys, like I said, next week. Have a nice day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Happy
Bye.
holidays.